Hello, my name is Barrett Sims, and I want to talk today about the differences between seeing a private music instructor like myself versus going to a music school. I love music schools. I think they're great. They're fantastic. Work at them, they're great. Uh, but there are some differences you should be aware of. One is when you see a private music instructor like myself, you're always going to get me. Uh, there's no staff turnover. There's no scheduling issues. You're always going to see me. The second thing is generally they're a little bit nicer facilities. The schools are great, but they've got a lot of people going through there. It tends to be at a building, office complex or something like that. This is my home. This is where I live. This is where I work. So I tend to keep this place pretty nice. Also, we generally have private music instructors generally have nicer equipment. So your students are working on, they're learning on nice equipment, nice gear, and it really does help. You sit down at the shiny drum set and the really nice keyboard with all the fancy sounds, and it really it kind of improves that experience a little bit. Uh, the next thing is you're getting a lot of personal communication. This communication is coming from me. It's not coming from, it's not coming from corporate. It's not coming from the head of office. Like I'm communicating with you directly about your student. And generally, private music instruction, we're a little bit cheaper. I've never really had anybody come to me for price, but it is a thing. If somebody, it's a few dollars difference per lesson. It's not a huge deal, but it is for some people. It may be an important issue. And I understand that. There are some reasons why you really may want to go to a music school, though. One is they offer group lessons. Most of your private music instructors like myself, we don't do group lessons. We don't have the space, we don't have the facilities, we don't have the bandwidth to really handle that. I don't have a place for, five parents to wait, right? If are into group music instruction, group piano classes, group ukulele classes, band classes, it can be a little cheaper and a little bit more fun, a little bit more socializing with your student. Music schools are great for that. That's definitely the way to go. And I think that's the number one thing that music schools have over somebody like myself. Also, music schools tend to have more flexibility in scheduling. They have a bunch of different teachers. So if your schedule changes and you can't make a Tuesday and now you got to go to a Wednesday, they generally will have a teacher that can take you, which is great. Also, I'm very limited in the number of instruments I teach. I teach piano, guitar, ukulele, and drums. Music schools will generally teach everything. You want a student, they've been taking piano lessons, now they want to take saxophone. They have a teacher for that. It's great. Uh, Also, you have more flexibility with your teacher student fit. If a teacher is not working out with your kid really isn't vibing with a particular teacher, you can talk to them and they'll find a different teacher. You may have to change times or days, but they've got a whole bunch of teachers. And different teachers teach different methods. They'll use different method books. They'll use different strategies, and they're very different. Um, One of the things that a lot of another thing with pros for music schools that I struggle with here is that I generally teach all the kids in the family and everybody's waiting, right? So everybody's sitting on the couch. So if I teach the daughter and the son, while I'm teaching the daughter, the son, and a parent is waiting. So that's an hour that everybody sits. When you teach at a music school, you can generally get both kids lessons at the same time, which is pretty handy. So instead of like waiting an hour for two kids to have lessons, it's just 30 minutes, whatever it is. So those are some pros and cons to consider when looking at a music school. I think music schools are a great option, especially if you want group lessons. That's the way to go. But if you want a consistency in your teacher, that's the best reason to pick a private music instructor. All right. Thank you very much. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, reach out. Bye-bye.